Hello and welcome to another class on atomic structure for class 11, integrated for IIT JEE as well as NEET as we call. As we remember, after a long gap, we are sitting again. We had completed the first part of the quantum mechanics, the wave mechanics, that electron is a wave. Who told it? Yes, Bismay, who told that electron is not merely a particle, but it is a wave? Who told?
Sir, D. Broglie.
D. Broglie, yes, Swam also has raised his hand. D. Broglie. And who said that, yes, it is a wave, but it is not revolving in a fixed orbit. Instead, it is lying somewhere within a particular specified space called orbital, in which the probability of finding the electron bearing a particular energy is maximum, maybe more than 90%. You can't say 100%. It is impossible for microscopic body to determine its presence, position and momentum simultaneously and accurately. Yes, Mr. Swamjit?
Sir, Werner Heisenberg.
Are you kidding me? No. Mr. Tripathi?
Yes, sir. Heisenberg.
Oh no, Heisenberg, put forth an equation for electron wave for hydrogen and hydrogen-like species. But that the electron is not moving in a two-dimensional fixed track, circular orbit. Instead, it is revolving, or it is giving a wave motion inside a three-dimensional space called orbital. Who told it? Swam? Oh, you are not studying what we discuss here. Yes, try. Swam?
Sir, Schrodinger.
Huh?
Schrodinger.
জোরে কুহ
Sir, Schrodinger.
ও তবে প্রথমে কোন নাটা কইল
Sir, Heisenberg.
ও yeah, I am so sorry. Oh, I am so sorry. তুমি বিস্ময় বিষয় কইল
Again, sir,
Oh,
Heisenberg.
I'm so sorry. I mistook it as Schrodinger. No, yes, you are 101% correct. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Hoop. Yes, I'm so sorry. He expressed, or he propounded this theory that no, electron cannot remain inside or continue to rotate, maybe in a wave motion in a two-dimensional fixed path. No, is in a fixed orbital called, fixed space called orbital. Yes. Then Schrodinger's put forth an equation for the electron wave. Can you very shortly tell me what is that Schrodinger's equation? Bismarck?
Sir, partial differentiation of psi with respect to.
Mr.
Oh,
Swam?
sir, right.
Quo?
Sir, simultaneous operation of psi is equal to E psi.
Key operation of psi?
Simultaneous operation of psi.
कौन उड़ की उच्चारण करছো हामी 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 कौन उड़ हामी स्वयं
Sir,
Tell I-
Hamiltonian operation.
हाँ
Sir, H psi
Hamiltonian
is equal to,
Hamiltonian हाँ को आउtre स्वयं
Sir, H psi is equal to E psi.
yes, that's what I was asking Mr. Tripathi. तुम्हें इतने न कही कि खाली कही था तो यदि H psi is equal to E psi, then that would have sufficed. This is the Hamiltonian operator, which contains the Laplacian operator and the potential energy operator together. And this is a constant called the eigenvalue, the energy value of that particular orbital. Now, we will be swiftly moving to discuss about the quantum numbers. We'll be writing. No worries. In a separate class, I will talk about more on the Schrodinger's wave equation. May not be today, but next time, because that will give you more idea on the shape of orbitals, the sign of the nodes, sign of the lobes, I'm sorry, sign of the lobes, and the other parameters which we will see, the knowledge of some more Schrodinger's wave equation will be required for a higher level thinking. Now, as I told you, psi has no physical significance. It is just the amplitude function. It is the displacement of the electron wave. So now each solution, there are many solutions to this equation. And the solution has not been done through this equation. In fact, this is equation involving Cartesian coordinates x, y, z. That I will tell you, it will be converted to another huge equation involving polar coordinates. R, theta, phi. These are the three coordinates, just like x, y, z. Three axes are required. Three coordinates are required to locate a particular point in 3D. Similarly, the other three coordinates that belongs to the polar coordinates, that two angles and a radial distance, phi, theta, and a radial distance r, theta, phi. These are the three coordinates required to specify, locate a particular point in 3D. So there are two types of coordinates: Cartesian coordinates, which you know, and you will know the polar coordinates that will be used for solving this Schrodinger's equation and finding out three index numbers, NLM. These index numbers are called Eisenfunction. Is called a Eisenfunction. Combination of this, each solution of Schrodinger's wave equation for a particular set of NLM is called a Eisenfunction. N is equal to 2, L is equal to 1, M is equal to 0. This combination of three index numbers, that gives a particular orbital called Eisenfunction psi, which represents an orbital. And you have to write this statement later at home. We already know this, will not be doing anything. Now let us talk about principal quantum number. We will write the most significant points in our copies. I will write. Now the first point, it determines the n value determines the principal energy level. N is equal to 1, the first cell, n is equal to 2. That we have been doing from time immemorial. We know what is n. N is equal to 3, the m cell. Third cell, n is equal to 4, the fourth cell, and so on. We will refrain now on to use the term KLMN, because L, capital L, which is the second cell, the small l, we will just now study, is another quantum number, designating another quantum number, the azimuthal quantum number. So we will not use KLMN henceforth. Now it also gives the energy of the electron and the most probable radial distance are the same Bohr's theory, whatever equation we learned for the radius of the orbit. Now we will call it most probable radial distance. That means the density of the electron density is maximum at that radial distance, not that below it and beyond it the electron density is zero. No, there is electron density before it and after it, but the maximum electron density will be found in at a particular radial distance surrounding the nucleus. That is what we call radius of an orbit. Here in quantum mechanics, we will call the most probable radial distance. Same equation. The constant A naught is 0.529 angstrom. Here, energy equation K is same. And as you go to higher and higher cells, the energy values will increase because there is a negative sign. All these things you know from Bohr's theory. Then the second one is the azimuthal quantum number, or also called orbital quantum number, also called angular momentum quantum number, or also called subsidiary quantum number. So many, names given, but the most popular among them is azimuthal. We'll be writing, don't worry. The value of L is equal to the number of values, not value. The number of values of L is equal to n. And what are the values? Values starts from 0. That is, obtained from the quantum mechanics, Schrodinger's wave equations derivation, which will not be a official part of your program, but I have a full-fledged, material, study material, printed material, very simply explain how to derive, how to convert the Schrodinger's original wave equation in Cartesian coordinates to the polar coordinates, and then split into three parts: the theta part, the phi part, and the r radial part. Radial equation, the Legender's equation involving theta, and the phi function. The phi function, the theta function, and the radial function. Split the original psi into the product of three part functions, one signifying a particular angle variation theta, the other particular angle variation phi. I'll tell you what is theta phi when I will explain more on Schrodinger's wave equation. And the radial function will relate only the radial distance from the nucleus. And from the phi function, the magnetic quantum number m, small m, was derived. We will see. And from the theta function, which is also called the Legender function, the L value, the azimuthal quantum number, which we are now going to study, has been determined. And the n, the principal quantum number n, has been determined from the radial function. We will see huge equations for all functions, and particularly why they are needed, particularly the radial function, which we will study. They are needed to find the electron density, the electron probability density psi square, and the distribution function d, capital D, from the radial function. We'll know the equations, then we can correlate with the graph how psi square varies with radial distance, how d, the probability distribution function, that varies with the radial distance. Now we will call radial distance. So because r is the most probable radial distance, then we will know, once we draw the graph, then we'll know where it is going, where it is going down, where it is going up, then how many points it is crossing the x-axis, and that particular radial distance is the node. The probability of finding electron is 0. That those combination of points, which can be a spherical surface, is a spherical node, or if it is a plane, it is a planar node, also called the angular node. So there are two types of nodes: the spherical node or the radial node, and the angular node. If you change the angle, you'll find at a certain angle the probability of finding electron is 0. So, but the actual surface is a planar surface. The name is angular node, but it is mostly a planar surface. Some special cases you will find the surface is not planar, it may be conical. It may be ball set for F orbital. FZ ZQ orbital is a ball set. A dz square, it is conical, that shape of that, node. We'll talk about that later because you are uranium guys. We have a habit of, hearing many things in advance. Just to motivate you, and also you feel yourself that you will be studying something in a higher level, not merely mugging up things for the examination, but in the level of understanding. Now, the values of L starts from 0 up to n minus 1, a total of n values. Supposing you take n is equal to 1, means I have written KCL, the first cell. I have written, but I should have written the first cell. We have only one L value. What is that value? That is 0. Because the values starts from 0. It goes up to n minus 1. So, it has only one subcell. Oh, I didn't tell you that the number of L values tells you how many subcells each cell consists of. Each cell consists of some small subdivisions, subcells. And the subcells have different energy values, slightly different energy values, not for hydrogen atom, not for hydrogen-like species. They are there. In the ground state, hydrogen has electron in the K cell, in the first cell. But second cell, third cell, fourth cell, they are there. And in the second cell, there are 2 subcells. In the third cell, there are 3 subcells. In the fourth cell, 4 subcells. So the number of subcells is equal to the number of L values. And what are the L values? Starts from 0. So if you're talking of the first cell, there is only one L value because n is equal to 1, L is equal L number of L values is equal to 1. And what is that value? It is 0. That 0 talks about S subcell. Whenever you say L is equal to 0, it is S subcell. So the first cell or the K cell, I am not inclined to use the word K, L, M, N. The first cell consists of only one subcell, that is called the S subcell. Similarly, second cell, here we will not take the capital L. The second cell has 2 subcells. And what are those values? 0 and 1. 0, then 1. 1 is in 2 minus 1. So you stay there. 0, 1 means you get 2 L values and the values are 0 and 1. L is equal to 0 means it is a subcell. L is equal to 1 means it is a new subcell called P subcell. Now you might wonder that A subcell was there in the first cell, A subcell is also there in the second cell. ये बात कुछ हजम नहीं हुआ. Then I will feed you hajamla. The S subcell in the first cell was of small size, was of smaller size surrounding the nucleus. But the S subcell of the second cell is of larger size. Their shapes are same. Their shapes, akruti, shapes are same. That is why it is SPDF. But their energy values are different. That is 2S. This is 1S, 3S, 4S. Their energy values are different, but the shapes are same. Similarly, if you go to the third cell, there are 3 subcells, 0, 1, 2, 0 S subcell, and 1 P subcell, and 2 the newly existing D subcell, that is starting from the third cell. Similarly, n is equal to 4, there are 4 subcells, 0, 1, 2, 3, and the new subcell which is present in the fourth cell is the F subcell. And fifth cell, there are 5 subcells, S, P, D, F, G, corresponding to the L value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can you guys are very smart. Can you write down very fast all these things? As much as you can write so that I can hold my breath for some time and you can also get rid of your drowsiness that you are having still might be in the bed ଯୋଉମାନେ ବେଡ୍ରେ ଅଛ ସେମାନେ ପଳେଇ ଆସ ବେଡ୍ରୁ ବେଡ୍ରେ ଅଛ କିଏ ନାଇଁ ତ ଏ ଶୋଇଲାଣି ବିସ୍ମୟ ଶୋଇଲାଣି ପୁରା
नहीं सर।
ହଁ, ତାହେଲେ ଲେଖିଦିଅ ଟିକେ ଫଟାଫଟ ବହୁତ ସ୍ପିଡିଲି ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ସରିଲେ କହିବ କି ହାତ ଟେକି ମାନେ ହଳଦିଆ ହାତ ଦେଖେଇବ বারুণী গগনে কথা মনরাই ঘর কথা থরে না 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 মনে ভরি অভিমান যায় ছাড়ি বৃন্দাবন ଋଷି ଛିରାଇ ପରାଣ ଝୁରେ ପାଷାଣ ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଏଟା ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଜଣ ସରିଲା
आज्ञा सर।
ଏତେ ସମୟ ଲାଗୁଛି ତ କଣ ହଁ ଶାଶୁର ଗଞ୍ଜଣା ପା କଷଣ ওকে এটা অ্যাজিমুথাল অরবিটাল এল এল ଆରେ ବିସ୍ମୟ ହାତ ତଳକୁ କର এই আজিমুথাল কোয়ান্টাম নম্বর লেখ this is one write down this is one this is two শ্যামଳ কেদারে হসে কাশপু ফুল মৌଳା ମନରେ କୁହୁଳେ ମଶାଲ ମୁକୁତା କି ହେବ ମମତାର ମୂଳ ଦେବ ହବା କଥା ମାନେ ହେବ ଚଳିବ କରମଟା ଏଡ଼େ ହୀନିମାନ ମନେ ଭରି ଅଭିମାନ যায় ছাড়ি বৃন্দাবন ଋଷି ଛିରାଇ ପରାଣ ଝୁରେ କଷଣ বারুণী গগনে কথা মনরাই সরলা বাহ আচ্ছা now oh this is recording no worries you know I'm talking in English because not because this is more this is purely for students who are studying in English medium no it is for you and Odia medium guys who wants to excel But I speak in English mostly to acquaint with you and to get rid of any shyness, any scare, any scare, Dora, to listen to English and not and become unfamiliar and alienate yourself from such speech or such lectures. So, to have a feel good factor for any lecture which is given in English continuously, I adopt this. Now, see, L has many significances. It gives the number of subcells. And the moment you know the L value, you know the shape of the orbital. You do not know that each subcell has some orbitals. Each cell is divided into some subcells. Each subcell has some orbitals. Where the final home of electron. So once you say S, L is equal to 1, you say S orbital, but it is automatically all the orbitals are S orbitals. So it is spherically symmetrical like this. It contains only one lobe. If you say L is equal to 1, whether it is small one or big one for the second, still bigger one for the third, doesn't matter. It will indicate that it is dumbbell shaped. Two lobes. Dumbbell shaped here. One dumbbell lying along x-axis, the other along y-axis, the third along z-axis. And if you said L is equal to 2, which will indicate one d orbital, it is d subcell. All are d subcells, but there are several L values, M values. We shall see for one L value, there can be multiple M values which will tell you the number of orbitals belonging to that particular subcell. So d subcell contains d orbitals. We will know about their M value soon. It is double dumbbell. Now see, these three p orbitals, px, py, and pz, they have been assembled in one Cartesian coordinate axis. I have shown it separately, but you may not. You should draw only one px, py, pz, three p orbitals. Similarly, we will be doing the details of the d orbitals and f orbitals later, just to indicate that L value determines the shape. Write down quickly, not this picture. For you, let me, I will not solve, save this file. Baruni. ବିସ୍ମୟ କୁଆଡେ ପଳେଇଥିଲ?
सर नेटवर्क चलना था कटिगले आउथरा
ଶୁଣିଛ ମୋର ସବୁ?
आज्ञा सर
ବିସ୍ମୟ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କଟିଛି। ସ୍ୱୟଂଜିତ ମହାନ୍ତି ନିଶ ଉଠିବାକୁ କେତେ ଦିନ ଯିବ? କଣ କହିଲ? ଆରେ ବିସ୍ମୟ କଣ କହିଲ? ଗୋଟେ ସରିଲା? ହାତ ଟେକୁନୁ, ମୁଁ ତ ଦେଖୁଛି ସରିଲା ମାନେ ହାତ ଟେକିବ ସେଇଠି। ଆରେ ଏଇଟା ରେକର୍ଡ ହେଇଗଲା ରେ। ନିଶ ଉଠିବାକୁ କେତେ ସମୟ ଲାଗିବ? ହଁ ମୁଁ କିଏ ଦେଖୁଛି, ଦେଖିଲି ଦେଖୁ। ପାଠ ସେମାନେ ଦେଖିବେ, ସେମାନେ ଯିଏ ଦେଖିବ ସେ ତାକୁ ଫରୱାର୍ଡ କରିଦେବେ। hello and welcome those who are watching from the YouTube. Please forward the unnecessary chat that I make to just motivate, or maybe when I take rest, I talk something, raise some humor, make some fun. So you just forward it. And if you are watching, I find some of you are watching regularly, on a regular basis. So have you subscribed to my channel? If not, do that. So, and also hit the like button. There is no, in both the activities, hitting the like button and subscribing, you need not have to pay a single pie from the hard-earned income of your father or mother, or both. Okay, then now see, S orbital is present in all cells, but its size becomes bigger as the n value increases. I have told you already. P orbital is present in all cells starting from the second cell. इसका खाता खुलता है second cell से, but its size becomes larger as n increases. D orbital is present in all cells starting from the third cell, but its size becomes greater as n increases. F orbital presents in the the shape of the f orbital is either it contains, some of them contain 6 lobes and some others contain 8 lobes. We'll be talking about that. And d orbital, each d orbital has 2 dumbbells, 4 lobes. Each d orbital has 4 lobes. It's called double dumbbell. And each f orbital can have either 6 lobes, some of them, and some of them have 8 lobes. And f orbital starts করছে কোটু না fourth cell ରୁ তার খাতা খোলুଛି, and then its size increases as you continue. এই পেজটা লেখো নাই, এটা বুঝিবা ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କରିଛି। ଦେଖେଇଛି ଯେ এটা 1s, এটা 2s, এটা 3s, এটা 2p, 3p, 4p। এটা ଲେଖିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, তুমি ପଛରେ ଲେଖିପାର, ନ ଲେଖିପାର, we don't bother. Now I have shown you in a very crude manner for a general average student to conceptualize how the cells are divided into subcells. See, this is the first cell. First cell has only one subcell, S subcell. Second cell has 2 subcells, S and P. Third cell has 3 subcells, S, P, D, differing in energy. I told you that the energy values SPD or SPDF in the fourth cell, they're same if it is hydrogen or hydrogen-like species. But if multi-electrons will come in sodium, in potassium, more electrons will come and join, then there will be slightly difference in energy between SPDF belonging to a particular cell. We'll know about the reasons. 2 things, let me sound you, will take a pivotal role, crucial role in changing their energy values. One is called the penetrating power, the penetration power of an orbital. The other one is called the screening effect of the inner orbitals. So those two will counter and finally make the energy levels of the subcells belong to a particular cell slightly different from each other. S as the lowest energy, P next, D next, then F next. 4s less than 4p, less than 4d, less than 4f. That happens in multi-electron species, not in single electron species. For them, all the subcells have same energy. We'll be talking slowly and steadily, we'll be talking about that. Now, the time of the yeah. Now see, now I will introduce what is penetration. You have to write that. The ability of an electron, the ability of an orbital to get close to the nucleus is called penetration. How the electron wave orbital, now you know the electron is not merely a particle, it is a smeared wave in a 3D space called orbital. It is all abstract and mathematical to be just conceptualized in a very crude manner, because mathematics is the key, not the actual phenomenon. They are not real waves. They are not real waves. They don't interfere. They do not show any interference or any diffraction. These are not the real waves in the macroscopic world. They are the waves in the quantum world. These are mathematical waves. Well, you will say, then why we are so very mad after this, which are fake waves, not they are mathematical waves, because the derivation and their study gives all other aspects, experimental aspects, corroborated, explained. We can explain all other aspects, chemical bonding, reactivity, and the periodic properties, everything through quantum mechanics. Although the equations are mathematical, but their explanation validates the experimental data of the elements, the compounds, and everything. That is why quantum mechanics is so very important and popular. So, energy order among orbitals is inversely related to the penetration of orbital. Actually, penetration order S is more than, what is that order? Here, here the penetration order is like this. Any s orbital belonging, but let's take fourth cell, which contains all the four subcells, SPDF. S has a maximum penetration. It is closer. You will find why it is closer, because it will have, you know, the subsidiary maximum very deeply buried towards the nucleus. Although the principal maximum will be farther away, that is why it is a fourth cell, but it has some small hills indicating some electron density of the fourth cell will be found in the third cell, in the second cell, in the first cell. Can you believe? Fourth cell electron density will be found in third cell, second cell, and also first cell. So the penetration is more for the S. Therefore, the energy is less. More the penetration, more is the attraction, less is the energy. Because negative touch, na? That is why. So the energy order ta ulta ta ns sabutu com energy, then np, then nd, then nf. That should belong to the particular cell. You can't compare 4s with 3D. We can't. 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. If you compare, definitely 4s as the minimum energy, then 4p, then 4d, 4f. Come what may, ଯାବି ହେଇଯାଉ ଏ ଅର୍ଡରଟା ରହିବ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଅନ୍ୟ ସେଲ୍ର ମାନଙ୍କରେ ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ହେଲା ବେଳକୁ କ'ଣ ହବ, କୋଉ କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ଟପସି ଟର୍ବି ହେଇଯିବ, ରିଭର୍ସାଲ ହେଇଯିବ, and why it happens, we will know about that later. This is valid for polyelectron species, where energy of an orbital depends on both n and l. Khali n determine karibani. For hydrogen and hydrogen-like atoms, n is the only determinant of energy, minus kz square by n square, minus kz square by n square. But when there will be polyelectron, sodium rahela ki helium rahela, jaha bhi hela, semanakara energy of a particular orbital, n ଆଉ l value ଦୁଇଟା ଯାକ ମିଶିବ, ତାର ଡେରିଭେସନ, ତାର ଯୋଉ ଇକ୍ୱେସନଟା ତମକୁ ଦିଆଯାଇନି। ତମର କୋର୍ସରେ କେବଳ ହାଇଡ୍ରୋଜେନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହାଇଡ୍ରୋଜେନ ଲାଇକ୍ ସ୍ପେସିସ୍ ଅଛି। ଏଟା ଲେଖିଦିଅ ଟିକେ। ମୋର ଟିକେ କମୁଛି, ବସିଲେ I don't have any head drilling or vertigo. Because vertigo is a very peculiar health condition. I will not say disease. It's not a disease. It's a health condition which once occurs to anyone will reoccur. Not frequently, but after some interval. And it goes after some days, it automatically goes. Yes, there are medicines, but I don't think they will have any real impact. Maybe I don't denounce them, because of medicine and the medical advancement, the longevity of common main has risen from 50s. ଆଗରୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଭାରତ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନ ହେଉଥିଲା 40s, 47, 50s ରେ, the average life expectancy was 55 or 60. 55-60 ବର୍ଷରେ ଲୋକ ମରୁଥିଲେ। ତା ମାନେ ମୁଁ କହୁନି ଯେ 85-90 ବର୍ଷ ବଞ୍ଚୁଥିଲେ ବୋଲି, ବଟ୍ ଆଭରେଜ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଯଦି ପପୁଲେସନକୁ, ବହୁତ ଲୋକ ମରିଯାଉଥିଲେ ଅଳ୍ପ ବୟସରେ, 30, 40, 50, 60 ଭିତରେ ମରିଯାଉଥିଲେ। ହଇଜା ହେଉଥିଲା, ଶହ ଶହ ହଜାର ହଜାର ଲୋକ ମରୁଥିଲେ। ସ୍ମଲ ପକ୍ସ ହେଉଥିଲା, ବସନ୍ତ, ହଜାର ହଜାର ଲୋକ ମରୁଥିଲେ। ତ ଏମିତି ଆଭରେଜ କଲାବେଳକୁ 50-60 ଭିତରେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆସ୍ତେ 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 ଯେତେବେଳେ ମେଡିକାଲ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ବାହାରିଲା, ମେଡିକାଲ ସାଇନ୍ସ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆଡଭାନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ କଲା, ତମାନେ medical science ku jibo, you will find because of the advancement of medical science and technology, the average life expectant longevity is increasing. Bartaman India re 70s ko asilani, 72. Whereas in US it is above 80, 82. And the highest is Japan, 87. Japan re, centurions are countless in number. ବୁଲୁଥିବେ 100 କ୍ରସ୍ କରୁଥିବା ଲୋକ ବହୁତ ବୁଲୁଥିବେ. 90s ତ ଛାଡ଼ କମନ୍, ଲୋକ ମରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ, 90 ପୂର୍ବରୁ କେହି ମରନ୍ତି. ସୋ ଆଭରେଜ କେମିତି 90 ଉପରେ ଆସିଲା, ସରି 87 ଆସିଲା. ଏବେ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି ଏବେ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି, ମୁଁ ଏହାର ସେନ୍ସସ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ଡେଟାଟା ମୁଁ କହୁଛି 10 ବର୍ଷ ତଳର, ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି ଏବେକାର ଡେଟା ଦେଖିଲେ ହୁଏତ 90 ହେଇଯିବଣି ଆଭରେଜ. ସରିଲା. ବିସ୍ମୟ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀଙ୍କର ସରିଲା. ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଓକେ. ହାଇଡ୍ରୋଜେନ ଲାଇକ୍ ସ୍ପେସିସ୍ ପାଇଁ NS is equal to NP is equal to ND is equal to NF. Relative penetration of orbitals is not valid in this case because there is only one electron. Se jodi 4 cell ku jibo bi ta pai S P D F ର କିଛି ମାନେ ନାହିଁ. ସେମାନଙ୍କର they will not quarrel with each other, they do not have a relative penetration, but the moment there are electrons there, then they will quarrel and they will have a different penetration. So you just write down quickly. ମୁଁ ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ ଗୀତ ବୋଲୁଛି just to divert my attention to relax. ମୁଁ ସକାଳେ ଉଠୁ ଉଠୁ ମୋ ମାଇଣ୍ଡକୁ ଏଇଟା ଆସିଲା. ମୋତେ ଗୋଟେ ଜଣେ କାଲି ମୋର ଜଣେ follower in the YouTube, she told me, she is my neighbor, ସାମ୍ନାରେ ଫ୍ରଣ୍ଟରେ, ସେ ମୋତେ କହିଲେ ଯେ ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କ'ଣ ରଥଯାତ୍ରାରେ କିଛି ବାହାରିବନି କି? ମୁଁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛି ଯେ ରଥଯାତ୍ରାରେ ମୁଁ ବାହାର କରିବା କଥା, because I was busy in some other matters. So I totally forgot. Yes, I remembered today's Rath Yatra, but I forgot that yes, in special occasions, special festivals, I sometimes, yes, I produce some YouTube video in my music channel, Chasing Ecstasy. ତ ସେଇଠୁ ମନେ ପଡ଼ିଲା କ'ଣ କରିବି କାଲି ଭାବୁଥିଲି ବସିକିରି, ଆଜି ସକାଳେ ଏଇଟା ମନେ ପଡ଼ିଲା. ଖାଲି ତ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଭଜନ କଲେ ହବନି, some light music, some classical, some Odissi music. This is Odissi music from a movie 1962 when your fathers were not born. Fortunately, I was born. I was 4 years old at that time. No, not 4 years. 62, 6 years old. Baruni, Baruni Koilani. Okay. Then now in polyelectron species, I have already told you. No. This is something else. If the L remain constant, then it goes on increasing. I told you their size goes on increasing and so also their energy. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 2p, 3p. There will be never any departure from this trend. But if you compare between 4s and 3d, 4f and 6x, so there will be some, reversal, some changes. But if you compare between the same subcell belonging to higher and higher cells, then their energy values will be more and more. That is understood. This is because the orbital goes farther away from the nucleus, although have the same shapes. এটা ନ ଲେଖିଲେ ବି ଚଳିବ, ଲେଖିବ ନା ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବା?
ଲେଖି ସାରିଲଣି.
ବାବା କି ସ୍ପିଡ ତମର! ହଉ, ଟିକେ ଯଦି ଲେଖିବ ସ୍ୱୟଂ ତାକୁ ଜାଗା ଛାଡ଼, ଏଟା କିଛି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ନୁହଁ. Now the energy profile is like this. In a polyelectron species, or maybe this is hydrogen, one electron species, this is multi-electron species. For hydrogen 1s, ଯଦି ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନଟା ଯିବ ହାୟର ଲେଭେଲକୁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ସେଲ୍କୁ, ଦେନ୍ it will see there are two subcells but the energies are same. And 2s गोटे ऑर्बिटल आम पढ़ा जे 2p ର तीनटा ऑर्बिटल थाए px py pz, सेमती थर्ड सेल रो एनर्जी समान समस्त 3s रो गोटे 3p रो तीनटा d रो पांचटा, सेमती फोर्थ सेल रे से देखिबो चारटा सबसेल 4s गोटे 4p तीनटा 4d पांचटा 4f सातटा. We will talk about that later. But in multi-electron species, there will be some changes. Why there are some change? You will find 1s, then 2s, then 2s2 बढ़ीगला केते ना 2px 2py 2pz एमानकर एनर्जी समान. So these orbitals belonging to a particular subcell, they are called degenerate orbitals. Orbitals having same energy are called degenerate. Don't be swayed away, misled by the literary meaning of degenerate. Degenerate माने अपभ्रंश भांगी जीवा, nothing to do with that literary meaning. Degenerate orbitals माने जो orbitals मानकर energy समान. So the orbitals belonging to a particular subcell, they have same energy, they are called degenerate orbitals. So 2 ର ଦି ଭାଗ ହେଇଗଲା. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଠି ଦେଖ ଚାରଟା ଯାକ ସମାନ ଥିଲା, ଏଠି 2s smaller than 2px 2py 2pz, ସେମିତି ତାପରେ ଆସିଲା 3s, then 3px 3py 3z, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଇଠି ଟିକେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଲା. 3d ର ଏନର୍ଜିଟା 4s ରୁ ଟିକେ ଅଧିକା, ଏଇଟା ଟିକେ ବେଶୀ ଅଧିକା ଦେଖେଇ ଦେଇଛି, ଟିକେ ଏକଦମ କ୍ଲୋଜ କିନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ ଅଧିକା. ତେଣୁ 4s ଆସିଗଲା. ଦେନ୍ କାହିଁକି ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରିବା, ମୁଁ ଖାଲି ଜଷ୍ଟ କାନରେ ବଜାଉଛି. ଦେନ୍ 3d ର ପାଞ୍ଚଟା, t dz ସ୍କୋୟାର, t x ସ୍କୋୟାର ମାଇନସ୍ y ସ୍କୋୟାର, dxy dyz dzx, ମୁଁ କହିବି ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ. ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦେନ୍ ଆସିଲା 4p. 4p ପରେ 4f ଆସିବନି, 4f ବହୁ ପରେ ଆସିବ. ଦେନ୍ 5s ଆସିଯିବ. ସୋ ଆମେ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ପଢ଼ିବା ଇନ୍ ମଲ୍ଟି ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରନ୍ ସ୍ପିସିସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କର କେମିତି ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ମାନଙ୍କର ଏନର୍ଜି କେମିତି ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହୁଏ, ସେ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆମେ ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ କାଳରେ ପଢ଼ିବା. ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ नो बिफोर वी गो टू एंगुलर मोमेंटम, आई एम सॉरी, मैग्नेटिक क्वांटम नंबर आसवा पूर्वरु आमे आउ गोटे जिनिस जानिबा अबाउट एल. L will give you the orbital angular momentum is determined from L value. Because an orbital, because of the electron motion, may be in a form of wave, but it is moving, it is not static. It has a momentum, and that is angular momentum. जोटा बोस थ्योरी MVR को आउथला is equal to NH by 2 pi. एठी सही angular momentum तार designation capital L is equal to L into L plus 1 root over H by 2 pi. H by 2 pi जगह तमें H cross लिखि पारिबो. The orbital magnetic dipole, since it has electron the orbital has a angular momentum, and therefore it has got a magnetic field, and magnetic field has a magnetic moment, and it's called the magnetic dipole moment mu, and that has a huge formula E by 2me into capital L. Capital L is the angular momentum, L into L plus 1 root over H by 2 pi. And if you do the this constant E by 2 me means mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31 kg. H is the Planck's constant, pi is the pi. So all these gives another constant. I mean, the value is 9.24 times 10 to the power negative 24 joules per Tesla. Tesla is the higher unit of, the magnetic field. So that is called 1 Bohr magneton. Therefore, all these total constants, they have been converted to Bm. Therefore, we simplify. Whenever somebody will ask what is the magnetic moment of this particular system, atom, you will just find what are the number of unpaired electrons. Because if the electrons are paired, they cancel their magnetic fields and the net momentum will be zero. We are talking of a single electron which is present in a particular orbital having L value either S. If it is an S value, L value is zero. So any electron which is in any S orbital, whether it is 1s or 2s or 3s or 4s, in a spherically symmetrical, So there, the net magnetic moment is zero. I am not talking of the magnetic moment we were having. No, we were not having magnetic moment in Bohr's theory. We are having magnetic moment here. So in s orbital, electron will have no orbital angular momentum is zero. L is equal to zero. Hence, the magnetic moment is also 0 Bm. But if it is in the p orbital, here I am talking of orbital angular momentum as a whole. I will talk about another angular momentum called spin. As I told you, just like Earth, while revolving around the sun. You imagine the Earth is not a particle, it is an electron wave. So it is showing wave motion around the nucleus and is also spinning about its own axis. So there are two types of angular momentum and hence the magnetic moment. One is the orbital angular momentum because of the orbital motion around the nucleus that gives orbital angular momentum and hence the orbital angular magnetic moment. The orbital magnetic moment. And there is another momentum, that is spin angular momentum and spin magnetic moment. That is different. There is always a coupling between these are vector quantities, angular momentum, and we take the net, that is called LS coupling. L is the angular momentum of orbital and S, capital S, is the angular momentum vector of the spinning electron. And the net angular momentum is the vector sum or the resultant of the two vectors, the L vector and the S vector. We will not talk about that LS coupling. We will be simplifying, first knowing the orbital motion giving rise to orbital angular momentum and hence the orbital magnetic moment. And later on, we will talk about spin quantum number, then spin angular momentum and spin magnetic dipole moment. Just write down. ବିସ୍ମୟ କହିବ ମୋ ଲେଖା ସରିଲା ସ୍ୱୟଂଜିତ କହିବ ମୋ ଲେଖା ବାକି ଅଛି କଥା ମାନ ବିସ୍ମୟ କଥା ମାନ ସ୍ୱୟଂ अरे अरे स्वयं सरना सरनी বরুণী গগনে ঘরেছি অন্ধার লিভি যায় নালি সূরজর ধার কথাও মনোরায় আচ্ছা ହଉ ଦେଖ এইটা লিখে দরকার নেই এই যে ଆଗରୁ ଆମେ MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi ପଢୁଥିଲେ সেটা হচ্ছে ক্লাসিক্যাল অ্যাঙ্গুলার মোমেন্টাম টেকিং electron as a particle, not wave, taking the motion of the electron in a fixed 2D circular orbit. So এটা কেবল Bohr theory पे applicable to make it use for energy calculation. Bohr theory रे energy calculation ପାଇଁ radius calculation ପାଇଁ ଆମେ it use କରୁ. But once you are asked what is orbital angular momentum, এটা wave mechanics ରେ जोटा L into L plus 1 root over Bm ଦବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Classical angular momentum, Bohr theory is something different. That only gives you the energy calculation. It's never used for other quantum mechanical purpose. Quantum angular momentum is due to the unpaired electron. You will see that ଆମେ magnetic quantum number ପଢ଼ିନେ ପଢ଼ିଲା ପରେ orbital ଆସିଯିବ orbital ରେ individual electron ଆସିଯିବ ସେମାନେ spin କରିବେ clockwise anti clockwise. They will pair their spin. So they paired ହେଇଗଲା ମାନେ the net magnetic moment is zero, magnetic angular momentum be zero, angular magnetic moment be zero. So it aguru jan lakho, the electron pairs do not contribute to the momentum, and hence they do not have any magnetic moment. We shall see later that these unpaired electrons have another angular momentum called spin angular momentum, and hence its magnetic moment. The net magnetic moment is the vector sum of the orbital angular moment, orbital magnetic moment, and the spin angular magnetic moment, LS, that is called LS coupling. Okay, এটা ঘরে লিখিব, টিকে জায়গা ছাড়, এটা টিকে আনসার দেল। Designate the subcells having the following n and l value. कौन डेजिग्नेशन दब? n is equal to 2, l is equal to 1 माने कौन लिखिबो ताकू? यस कुह, अरे कौन?
2p
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 2p, এটা
5s
5s
এটা not possible, এটা ମୁଁ ଜାଣିକି ତମକୁ, କାରଣ n is equal to 3 ହେଲା ମାନେ l ର ତିନିଟା ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ଠିକ ଅଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ଅଛି l ର 0 1 2 ରେ ସରି ଯାଉଛି। ତେଣୁ ଏଇଟା ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଘଣା ପେଲିବାକୁ ଦେଇଛି କି ଧରି ପାରୁଛୁ ନା ନାହିଁ। ନଟ୍ ସଚ୍ ଏ କମ୍ବିନେସନ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ପସିବଲ୍ ଆଟ୍ ଅଲ୍। ତାହେଲେ ଏଇଟା କୁହ।
sir 4p
4
ଆର୍ ୟୁ
4f
କିଡିଂ ମି
plus
ବିସ୍ମୟ?
4d
4D,
4t
0 ମାନେ S, 1 ମାନେ P, 2 ମାନେ D, ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍। ଏଇଟା କ'ଣ?
sir
6f
6f
6F, 3 ମାନେ F, 2 ମାନେ D, 1 ମାନେ P, 0 ମାନେ S। ଓକେ, ଦେନ୍ ଆସିଲା ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ୍ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ ନମ୍ବର। ଶୁଣ, ପ୍ରତି ସବସେଲରେ କେତେ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ଅଛି? that is known from the number of m values which is equal to 2l plus 1 number। कौन भैल्यू नब ना माइनस एल रु प्लस एल, भाया जीरो एक एक मिशुथिबो माइनस एल प्लस 1 माइनस एल प्लस 2 एमती एक जीरो आसीबो बाटरे, देन 1 2 3 अप टू प्लस एल पर्यंत मिशेई देले टोटल 2l plus 1 वैल्यू हबो। So the number of m values gives the number of orbitals present in each subcell. l is equal to 0 माने ता माने एनी s subcell रे गोटिए ऑर्बिटल थाए, कारण देखो माइनस एल माइनस 0 प्लस 0 और मूल्य किसी नहीं, l is equal to 0 माने m is equal to 0, that means it contains one orbital, that is s orbital। so s subcell ही s orbital, मैं आगुरु s subcell कहूଥିଲି, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଲେଣି s orbital ଯୋଉଠି ହଉ 5s ହଉ 6s ହଉ 1s ହଉ 2s ହଉ ସେଟା ଗୋଟିଏ orbital। କିନ୍ତୁ l is equal to 1 ଯଦି ହବ ତାହେଲେ l m ର ତିନିଟା ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ମାଇନସ୍ l ରୁ ପ୍ଲସ୍ l କୁ ଯିବା, ମାଇନସ୍ 1 ସେଥିରେ 1 ଆଡ୍ କର, 0 ପ୍ଲସ୍ 1, ଏ ତିନିଟା ଯୋଉ m ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ୍ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ୍ ନମ୍ବର ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ represents 3 orbitals, p orbitals, ଗୋଟେ px, ଗୋଟେ py, ଗୋଟେ pz। ଏ ଜିରୋଟା रिजर्व ହେଇଛି pz ପାଇଁ, ଯୋଉ p ଅର୍ବିଟାଲଟା ଯୋଉ ଡମ୍ବେଲଟା z ଆକ୍ସିସ୍ ରେ ଲାଏ କରୁଛି ସେଟା ପାଇଁ m is equal to 0 रिजर्व। সেটা କେମିତି ହେଲା সেটা স্ক্রোডিঞ্জার্স ওয়েভ ইকুয়েশন ର ডেরিভেশন ରୁ ହେଲା। so forget about it, and plus minus 1 they are reserved for either px or py, they can be interchangeably used। ୟା ପାଇଁ ଯଦି plus 1 সেটা ହେଇଯିବ minus 1, এটা ଯଦି minus 1 সেটা plus 1, କିଛି problem ନାହିଁ। so you will slowly know, write down quickly, you have to write down quickly। से जिनसटा मु कहनी ए स्लाइड रे जे ए एम रो जीरो वैल्यू हैला माने सेटा पी जेड को बुझेइबो, ए माइनस 1 प्लस 1 टा आइदर पी एक्स पी वाई, हमें सेटा पर स्लाइड रे अछि। एटा 3 नंबर, the third quantum number which is an outcome of the Schrodinger's wave equation, the derivation of the Schrodinger's wave equation। You get 3 index numbers n, l, m, and combination of these 3 numbers that gives a particular Eisen function psi which represents one orbital। सरला, ओके। now l is equal to 2 माने 5 टा 12 plus 1 वैल्यू যদি यूज करिवो 2 2 जुड़े 4 युक्त 1 5, 5 टा कोन कोन -2 -1 0 +1 +2। सो डी सबसेल जोड़ी थाउ 3d थाउ 4d थाउ 5d थाउ एज 5 ऑर्बिटल्स ता ना होची डी जेड स्क्वायर तळे डी एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर डी एक्स वाई डी वाई जेड डी जेड एक्स कौन पाई ना एमती दियाला डेजिग्नेशन एमती दियाला सेटा तुमे मुंडो खेळवा दरकार नाही यू विल नो स्लोली एंड स्टेडीली एल इज इक्वल टू 3 माने एफ सबसेल रे सातुटा टू 12 प्लस 1 अनुसार 3 गुणे 6 जुक्त 1 7टा कौन कौन ना -3 -2 -1 0 +1 +2 +3 7 ऑर्बिटल्स ता ना गुड़ाक तुम कोर्स रे नाही बट ना दे देछि मु कान रे बजे एफ जेड क्यू एफ एक्स जेड स्क्वायर एफ वाई जेड स्क्वायर एफ एक्स वाई जेड एफ जेड इंटू एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर एफ एक्स इंटू एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस 3 वाई स्क्वायर एफ वाई इंटू 3 एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर एटा खाली कान रे बजेबाकू पृथ्वी रे कोनोसी माने प्लस 2 लेवल रे आई मीन 11 12 लेवल रे एगुड़ाक तोर आवश्यकता किछि ना खाली जानी रखिया कथा अवश्य तार नोड संख्या प्रति एफ ऑर्बिटल एंगुलर नोड संख्या एवं फिक्स्ड 4f कि 5f जो एफ कहबो तार रेडियल नोड संख्या एगुड़ाक तुम दरकार किंतु एमानकर डेजिग्नेशन एवं एमानकर इंडिविजुअल शेप तार 6टा लोब्स की 8टा लोब्स तुम पाइबो मोर डिटेल्स पाइबो को एफ ऑर्बिटल 6टा लोब कोटा 8टा लोब सेडा को डिटेल पाइबो बट एटा परीक्षा रे पडुनी न पड़ुछु बिले हम न जानिबा किछि अधिका सेमति किछि माने नाही तल्ला विस्मय त्रिपाठी स्वयं जित महांती सरिला कि तुम लेखा लेखार ए लिरिसिस्ट जे से फटकिनी जान नब से लिरिसिस्ट बसिबो म्यूजिक कंपोजर पाखरे न बसिले तार आगुरु लिखि देथिबो किंतु से चेंज कर दो से जो ताल रे पकेइबो जो स्वर रे पकेइबो जे म्यूजिक कंपोजर ता अनुसार गोटे गोटे वर्ड को ता पाखरे बसी चेंज करिया पड़िबो नले पड़िबोनी ताल रे बेतालिया होई जीवरे त्रिपाठी बाबू अच्छा देखो एटी मु लिखिली एम रो वैल्यू जो तीनटा अछि जीरोटा रिजर्व होची पी जेड पाई -1 +1 टा दे आर इंटरचेंजेबली यूज फॉर पी एक्स एंड पी वाई सेमती जो पांचटा एम वैल्यू फॉर डी ऑर्बिटल्स जीरोटा रिजर्व एटा एटा ऑन लिखिया पड़िबो जीरोटा रिजर्व होची डी जेड स्क्वायर पाई +-2 टा रिजर्व होची डी एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस स्क्वायर और डी एक्स वाई x coordinates are involved either this or that they can be interchangeably used since the +1 -1 they are interchangeably used for dyz and dzx involving y and z coordinates okay write down this एवं fixed खाली +-2 रो दीटा इंटरचेंजेबिलिटी अछि +-1 रो इंटरचेंजेबिलिटी अछि किंतु 0 रो कोनो से इंटरचेंजेबिलिटी नहीं डी dz स्क्वायर बाय उद्दिष्ट fixed কথা মনোরাই মন কথা থরে মন কথা থরে चलला सुमळ किधरे हसे खास फूल মৌলা মনরে কুলে মশাল মুখু থাকিব মমতার মূল পরমটা হেড়ে হিনিমা ओके नाउ सी এইটা তুমি ঘরে লিখিব जो एफ सबसेल रो जो 7टा ऑर्बिटल फ्रॉम -3 टू +3 0टा रिजर्व होची एफ जेड क्यू पाई प्लस माइनस 3 टा रिजर्व होची एफ एक्स इंटू एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस 3 y स्क्वायर एटा y स्क्वायर टा टिके शिफ्ट कर जाइए 3 स्क्वायर नो 3 y स्क्वायर और एफ वाई इंटू 3 x स्क्वायर माइनस y स्क्वायर एक्स स्क्वायर टा 2 टा शिफ्ट कर जाइए प्लस माइनस 2 टा रिजर्व होची एफ एक्स वाई जेड और एफ जेड इंटू एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस y स्क्वायर प्लस माइनस 1 टा एफ एक्स जेड स्क्वायर और एफ वाई जेड स्क्वायर सो आम जानिले जे एस सबसेल रे गोटे ऑर्बिटल थाए मु ताको गोटे बॉक्स रे देखौची एक्चुअली ताको शेप अलग अलग पी रो 3टा ऑर्बिटल थाए डी रो 5टा एफ रो 7टा एटा तुम घरे लिखिबो एटा को छाड़ दियो टिके जगह जदी लिखिबा को चाहूचो सो एम वैल्यू रू हमको पता चलेगा ऑर्बिटल का स्पेस में ओरिएंटेशन इट इंडिकेट्स द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ एन ऑर्बिटल शेप जना पड़ जिवो एल वैल्यू जदियो नंबर ऑफ एल वैल्यूज गिव्स द नंबर ऑफ सबसेल्स ऑर्बिटल केतेटा सेटा एम रे जना पड़िबो एम वैल्यूज रु किंतु एल रु जना पड़ीगला शेप आगु जना पड़ीगला शेप किंतु सेटा एक्स एक्सिस रे अछि कि वाई एक्सिस रे अछि कि जेड एक्सिस रे अछि कि डी हेले डी एक्स वाई माने दीटे जो चारटा जगह लोब एक्स वाई प्लेन रे अछंती से कोठी अछंती एक्सिस ऊपर अछंती कि इन बिटवीन द एक्सिस अछंती एगुडा को जो कहंती ओरिएंटेशन को डायरेक्शन रे लोब्स गुडा को ओरिएंटेड सेटा जना पड़ जिवो कोठु ना एम वैल्यूज रु लिखि दियो एटा एम रो सिग्निफिकेंस रे सेटा आसी जिवो सो चित्र करिया दखे केवल एतिकी चित्र कले हबो पी एक्स पी वाई पी जेडटा এইটা ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ଏକା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆସେମ୍ବଲି ଲେଖିଛି ତୁମେ ଆସେମ୍ବଲି କରିବା ସେଠି ଆସେମ୍ବଲିଟାକୁ କରିଥିଲି ଏଇଠି ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା କରୁଛି କଥା ମନରାଇ ମାନ କଥା ଥରେ ବେଦ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଯଜୁର୍ବେଦ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ବିସ୍ମୟ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀ ଯଦୁର୍ବେଦ ନା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
କେତେ କ'ଣ କେତେ ପରସେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଲ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ
ସାର୍ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ବାହାରିନି
ବୃହତ ଆରଣ୍ୟକ ଉପନିଷଦରେ ଋଷି ବୃହସ୍ରବା ଅଛନ୍ତି ନା ସେ ମୈତ୍ରେୟୀଙ୍କୁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ନା କୋଉ ଋଷି ଅଛନ୍ତି
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ହଁ ସାର୍
ଓକେ ନାଉ ସି ମୁଁ ଆଗରୁ ତ ମୁଁ କାନରେ ବଜେଇଛି ଯେ all the orbitals belonging to a particular subcell ଧର p ର 3px 3py 3pz କି 2px 2py 2pz ଏମାନଙ୍କର ଏନର୍ଜି ସମାନ ଏବଂ ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ କହନ୍ତି ଡିଜେନେରେଟ୍ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ସେମିତି ଯେକୌଣସି ଡି ର ତ ଖାତା ଖୋଲୁଛି 3 ରୁ 3d z ସ୍କୋୟାର 3 3 3 3 3 ସବୁ ଗୁଡାକ ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଯାକ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲଙ୍କର ଏନର୍ଜି ସମାନ ଦିଜ୍ ଆର୍ କଲ୍ଡ ଡିଜେନେରେଟ୍ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ସେମିତି ଏଫ୍ ର 4f ରୁ ଖାତା ଖୋଲୁଛି ସାତଟା ଯାକ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲର ଏନର୍ଜି ସମାନ ଏଇଟା ଲେଖିଦିଅ ତାକୁ କହନ୍ତି ଡିଜେନେରେସି ଅଫ୍ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ହେଡିଂ କରିକି ନାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ସବ୍ ହେଡିଂ କରିକି ଅଣ୍ଡରଲାଇନ୍ କରିକି ଲେଖିବ ଶ୍ୟାମଳ କେଦାରେ ହସେ କାଶ ଫୁଲ ମଉଳା ମନରେ କୁହୁଳେ ମଶାଲ ମୁକୁତା କି ହେବ ମମତାର ମୂଳ ମୁକୁତା କି ହେବ ମମତାର ମୂଳ କରମଟା ଏଡ଼େ ହିନିମାନ ମନେ ଧରି ଅଭିମାନ ଜରେ ଛାଡ଼ି ଜଣ ଜୁରେ ପାଷାଣ
ସାର୍
ସରିଲା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
ହାଁ
सर जो जी सब सेल टे सेटा यूज होंगे।
ଶୁଭୁନି ଟିକେ ବାବା, ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ କୁହ।
सर जी जो सब सेल सेटा तो यूज होंगे।
ନା ସେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆସିନି ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟ। ତୁମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବଡ଼ ହବ, ନୂଆ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିବ, ଏବେ କିନ୍ତୁ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ ମେକାନିକ୍ସ ବାଲା, ସେ ବାୟା ଲୋକ ତ, ଅଙ୍କ ଅଙ୍କ ବାଲା କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଅଛି, ସେମାନେ ଜି ସବସେଲର ଯୋଉ 9ଟା ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ରହିବ 12+1 ଅନୁସାରେ, 4 2 ଯା 8 + 1 9 ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସେପ୍ ବାହାର କଲେଣି, କେତେଟା ଲୋବ୍ସ, କେତେଟା ତାର ସେପ୍ କଣ, ସେଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ କ୍ୟାଲକୁଲେସନ। ସେପ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ସବୁ କରନ୍ତି କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟରାଇଜ। ଆଜିକାଲି ତ ଆଗେ ତ ପ୍ଲଟିଂ କରିକି ଡଟିଂ କରି କରୁଥିଲେ। ମୁଁ କହିବି ସେଟା କେମିତି। ଏ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଆସିଲା ପରେ ସେଗୁଡାକ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ଗୁଡାକ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି, ଭିନ୍ନ ଭିନ୍ନ ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସରେ, ଆଙ୍ଗୁଲାର ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସରେ, ରେଡିଆଲ ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସରେ ତାର ସାଇ ସ୍କୋୟାର ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ କେତେ, ସୋ ସେମାନେ ପ୍ଲଟ୍ କରିକି ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ 3D ରେ ଉଠେଇ ଦେଲେ। ବାହାରିଗଲା ଅର୍ବିଟାଲର ସେପ୍ ଆସିଗଲା। କିଏ କୋଉ ଦେଖିଛି ତାକୁ? ଛି, ଏଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟମ ମେକାନିକ୍ସ। କିନ୍ତୁ କେହି ତାକୁ ଚ୍ୟାଲେଞ୍ଜ କରିପାରିବନି। ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଥିବ, ଏମିତି ହେଇଥିବ। ନଇଥିଲେ ସେଟାର କରୋବୋରେସନ କେମିତି କେମିକାଲ ବଣ୍ଡରେ ମିଳୁଛି, କେମିତି ପିରିୟଡିକ ପ୍ରପର୍ଟିଜରେ ମିଳୁଛି। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଆକୁ ଆଉ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କରିପାରିବାନି। ବୁଝିଲ ତ? ଜିରୋ ଆସିବ, -4,
आगे सर।
-4, -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3, +4, ଏମିତି 4 4 8 के 9ଟା ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ଆସିବ ଏବଂ ଆସିସାରିଲାଣି। ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୁଗୁଲରେ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବ ଜି ସବସେଲ, ଏଟା ଡିଟେଲ ତମେ ପାଇଯିବ, ତାର ସେପ୍ ଫେପ୍ ସବୁ ପାଇଯିବ। ये पागल, किंतु से एपर्यंत यूज है नहीं। कौनसी एलिमेंट 118टा तो बाहरी, आहरी तार यूज बहुत दिन पर, बहुत एगुड़ाक सब जिते नुआ एलिमेंट बाहर भी भविष्य रे नेचर प्रकृति कही सारा जे आउ तुमे प्राकृतिक मौलिक पाइबनी। यदि पाई था तो 92 पर, टू सम एक्सटेंट 93 94 छाड़, तापर एते वर्ष है सेंचुरी गोटे गोटे शताब्दी चलीगलानी, आउ गोटे एलिमेंट प्राकृतिक एलिमेंट पाइन, सबू कृत्रिम एलिमेंट बाड़िया पटिया करके बाहर कर कले भी जदि तार इलेक्ट्रोनिक कन्फिगरेशन कहीं से जाके जाई नाहांती। जाइछंती जो जी ऑर्बिटल मानकर सेफ सेमती क्वांटम मेकानिकली बाहर करिया पई, सब 9टा जाक ऑर्बिटल सीधा जाइछंती। किंतु जो अमेरिशियम, क्यूरियम, बर्केलियम, एगुड़ाकर सब फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी किसी स्टडी ହେଇନି। ये सब लाइफ टाइम कार केते मिली सेकेंड टू माइक्रो सेकेंड बंचुची माने मरुची। अवश्य कैलिफोर्नियम जाके बल्क मटेरियल 1 ग्राम 2 ग्राम करके तार प्रॉपर्टीज मेजरमेंट हलानी, आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी, ये सब जिनिस ता परठू कार माइंड सेमानकर लाइफ पीरियड टिके अधिका कैलिफोर्नियम पर्यंत। तुम्हें पढ़ा सब डिटेल्स ऑफ द लैंथेनाइट्स एंड एक्टिनाइट्स। ये जो जी मैन एंड स्टार्क इफेक्ट्स मु कही जोटा एक्सप्लेन करि पारि नथिला, बोर्स थ्योरी फेल टू एक्सप्लेन जी मैन इफेक्ट। सेटा कोन, जो एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड दब से डिजेनेरेट ऑर्बिटल जो अच्छी 3D x square minus y square is equal to 3z dz square is equal to 3 dxy plus is equal to 3d yz is equal to 3zx सिया रहिबोनी। गोटे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड नॉर्थ पोल साउथ पोल गोटे पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन रे रखिलो, धर x एक्सिस रे रखिलो, किंतु लोब्स मान ओरिएंटेशन सब अलग अलग डायरेक्शन रे अछि। तेणु जो मैंने एक्स एक्सिस रे अछंती से माने जो लेवल रे इंटरेक्शन करिवे अट्रैक्शन हबो तांकर, जो माने अन्य दूर रे अछंती अलग जगह रे अछंती तांकर अट्रैक्शन लेवल अलग आइ जिवो, इंटरेक्शन लेवल अलग आइ जिवो। अट्रैक्शन माने रिपल्सन भी अछि, सो सेथि पई सेमानकर एनर्जी अलग आइ जिवो। सो डिजेनरेट ऑर्बिटल्स बिकम नॉन डिजेनरेट, नॉन डिजेनरेट माने अलग अलग एनर्जी हे जिवो। सो गोटे फोर्थ सेल रो 4D रे थिला, 5टा जाक ऑर्बिटल समान एनर्जी थिला, तो इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांजिशन करूथला 4 सेल रु तळुकु, से 4टा जाक एनर्जी समान। किंतु जितेबाला एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अच्छी 4 जो डी रो 5टा लेवल अलग अलग हो गला। तेणु जोटा गोटे ट्रांजिशन सेटा 5टा ट्रांजिशन तर से 1 नंबर सेल को आसे, 4d z square ru 1s, 4d x square minus y square ru 1s. So the transition energies are not same, they are slightly different. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ୍ରୋମିଟର ସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ୍ରମ୍ ନବା ଇନ୍ ପ୍ରେଜେନ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଏକ୍ସଟର୍ନାଲ ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ୍ ଫିଲ୍ଡ, ଗୋଟେ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଲାଇନ୍ ଯୋଉଟା ଆସୁଥିଲା 4 ରୁ 1 କୁ, ସେଟା ମଲ୍ଟିପଲ ଲାଇନ୍ସ ଆସିବ, ବିକଜ ଦି ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ୍ସ ଆର୍ no longer degenerate, they are non degenerate. Transition energy values are different, but exactly ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଅଛି ମାନେ ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଆସିବ ତା ନୁହେଁ. There are many transitions which are ineffective. ତାଙ୍କର probability of transition is very close to zero. ତାର ସିଲେକ୍ସନ ରୁଲ୍ ଅଛି. ସୋ ସିଲେକ୍ସନ ରୁଲ୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିକିରି ଆମେ ଥିଓରିଟିକାଲି ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ହେଇପାରିବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଥିରୁ ମେ ବି ଦୁଇଟା ଦେଖାଯିବ. ସେଥିପାଇଁ କହିବି ମଲ୍ଟିପୁଲ ଲାଇନ୍ସ ୱାର୍ଡ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିଛି. So some of them are so less probable that they are not visible in the real spectrum. But yes, a single line is split into multiple lines in presence of magnetic field. That is called the G-man effect. Electric field ଦେଲେ ସେଇଆ ଏକା, but that is called Stark effect. So এটা ଟିକେ ଲେଖି ଦେଇ ପାର, G-man effect ର କାରଣଟା କ'ଣ? ଏଫେକ୍ଟଟା ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ମୁଁ କହିନି, ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମୋର ଅଛି ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ବି ଅଛି, କେମିତି G-man effectଟା ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରିବା ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ସେଇଟା, କିନ୍ତୁ ତାର କାରଣଟା ଆମେ ଜାଣିଗଲୁ. ମୁଖ୍ୟ କାରଣଟା ହେଲା ଆଉ ଡିଜେନେରେସି ରହିବନି ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ୍ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ଆଉ ଏକ୍ସଟର୍ନାଲ ମ୍ୟାଗ୍ନେଟିକ୍ ଆଉ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଫିଲ୍ଡରେ ଆଉ ଡିଜେନେରେସି ରହିବନି. ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା ହେଇଯିବ. Energy values will change because they will interact differently to a fixed magnetic field. Magnetic field is a fixed na, तुम रखियो external magnetic field की electric field. सरिला विस्मय आउ किछि समय परे स्वयं जीती जलखिया खाई ट्यूशन जीव कोचिंगी. अरे हाय सुन जे सुन सुन चलला. तुम जहाँ सब लिखुच विस्म, व्हाई नॉट यू राइट इन द ग्रुप. ग्रुप रे केते जण अछंती कि आमे वर्चुअली आमे दी जण सब बैकआउट करिगलेनी. किए कहलेनी मु देखुची मो देह खराब अछि, मु देखुची वीडियो. ये किछि काम नु. जो माने वीडियो देखुचंती से माने अलगा समय रे देखुचंती एवं से माने एटिका अटेंड करि पारिबेनी. से देखुचंती तार बेनिफिट पाउचंती, अलगा कथा. ଏଇ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଥିଲେ, ସରି ଶ୍ରୁତି, ଯଦି ତମେ ଶୁଣୁଥିବ ତାହେଲେ ତମେ ପ୍ରୁଭ୍ କର ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ରଙ୍ଗ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ତୁମେ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁଅସଲି ଏଇ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମର ଫାଇଦା ନବ. ୟୁ ପ୍ରୁଭ୍ ମି ରଙ୍ଗ ବିକଜ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଦେୟାର ଫର୍ ୟୁ. ୟୁ ମିନ୍ସ ସିନ୍ସିୟର ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍. ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ସିଓର ଯେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ବ୍ରେନି ହେଇଥିବ, ସେ ଥରେ ବସିଲା ମାନେ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଆମ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ସେ ଛାଡ଼ିପାରିବନି, କି ଆମେ ବି ଛାଡ଼ିପାରିବନି. ଉଭୟ ଉଭୟକୁ ଛାଡ଼ିପାରିବନି. Love is you know multi-directional, not one-sided, both-sided, multi-sided. Ah, now अरे हे ମୁଁ ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡ଼ା ଏଇଠି ଅଛି, ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଅଛି, ତମେ ଆନ୍ସର ଦିଅ, ଏଇଠି ସାରିବା. ଆକୁ କାଟି ନାହିଁ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀ ବାବା ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡ଼ା. ଓ ଏଇଟା କଣ କାଟିଥିଲି. अच्छा कुह, डेजिग्नेट द ऑर्बिटल्स विथ एन एल एम आसीगलानी वर्तमान.
Sir, 3 D Z square.
यस, एम इज इक्वल टू 0 माने एटा डी जानी गलो. डी 0 माने तुम खाता देख लिखिछ डी जेड स्क्वायर. एटा हबो आउ ता छडा अन्य किछि हेई परिबनी. आउ चारटा लिखि परिबो नाही. द्वितीयटा 4 1 प्लस 1, 4 1 प्लस 1.
4px और 4py.
यस, 4 px भी ही पारे. 4 स्लैश करके लिखि देबो जते पॉसिबिलिटी थिबो. अच्छा, सीटा 5 0 0
5s.
5s s ର କିଛି ଗୋଟିଏ ତ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ s ସବସେଲ ମାନେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ 5s यार किसी x कौनसी एंगल डिपेंडेंस नहीं आम देखिए परवर्ती काल में एंगुलर नोड नहीं जीरो खाली रेडियल नोड्स पाइब कि एंगुलर नोड जीरो पाइब अच्छा दीटा n2 1 + 2
ଏଟା ହବନି ବୋଧେ।
ହବନି।
l is equal to 1 माने m रो वैल्यू -1 0 +1 +2 कोट आस नॉट पॉसिबल दिस कॉम्बिनेशन इज एंड व्हाट अबाउट दिस f रो
Sir,
ठीक खाता देखि कुह खाता देखि कुह नहीं मत लेखिन परा मु 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 तुमको देनी से किंतु जेहेतु मु देइछि मु एटा 2 पर अछि ना 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 2 अछि 3 अछि सर f रो -2 रे दीटा जिंस f x y z f z x स्क्वायर माइनस y स्क्वायर तो सेटा खाता न देखिले लिखि परिबो नाही कारण l इज इक्वल टू 3 माने एटा f सबसेल रो f सबसेल पे खाता देखियो पड़िबो घोषियो को मु केबे कहबनी f 6f x y z किबा 6f कौन
Yes.
जेड स्क्वायर ना जेड अरे जेड ना जेड स्क्वायर
Sir, x square minus
Z.
y square into j.
इंटू जेड कौच ना जी कौच
Sir, z.
आमर
Z.
से इंडिया रे जेड कहती किंतु अमेरिका रे इंग्लैंड रे जेड को जी कहती तेणु कंफ्यूजन नहीं जाए ZIA जिया मो नातुड़ी ना से कह GIA जिया जेड तो मैंने उच्चारण करती जी ABCDEFG आज कल मैंने जी जी को गोटे कौन कहती जी गोटे केमती अलग कहती किंतु जेड को जी सो आमे किंतु जेड कहवा नने बुझी हबनी ओके देन आमे स्पिन क्वांटम नंबर सारदबा अल्प टिके नाको अच्छी स्पिन क्वांटम नंबर जो चतुर्थ क्वांटम नंबर दैट इज नॉट ए बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ स्क्रोडिंजर्स वेव इक्वेशन सेटा आसीची स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपिक स्टडीज रु स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपिक स्टडीज रु स्पिन क्वांटम नंबर आसी इलेक्ट्रॉन बिसाइड्स मेकिंग मोशन in orbital it comma spins about its own axis and therefore there are two possible spin states denoted by spin quantum number small s it a small s is equal to plus half spin up and minus half spin down one spins clockwise the other spin anti-clockwise सेमती किसी नहीं जे एटा प्लस हाफ टा क्लॉकवाइज हम माइनस हाफ टा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज गोटे प्लस क्लॉकवाइज हेले गोटे एंटी क्लॉकवाइज किंतु upward arrow mark that is called spin up सेटा प्लस हाफ डाउनवर्ड arrow mark माइनस हाफ स्पिन डाउन एमती दीटा स्पिन क्वांटम नंबर अच्छी ए हाफ और किसी सिग्निफिकेंस नहीं एटा स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपिक स्टडीज रो आसी नॉट फ्रॉम क्वांटम आई मीन नॉट फ्रॉम स्क्रोडिंजर्स वेव इक्वेशन लिखिदियो टिके तो एटा चतुर्थ क्वांटम नंबर तो को सब सेल रे को सबसेल रे को ऑर्बिटल रे एवं तार स्पिनिंग टा क्लॉकवाइज के एंटी क्लॉकवाइज सो चारटा जाक क्वांटम नंबर्स पाई गले तो इलेक्ट्रॉन रो कुंडली कुंडली तमे निकाल देलो बाहर कर देलो को सेल रे को सबसेल रे को ऑर्बिटल रे एवं तार स्पिन टा कोन क्लॉकवाइज के एंटी क्लॉकवाइज स्पिन अप की स्पिन डाउन लिख लो किधर मुझे स्लाइड यूज करी कहीं ना हाथ टिके पेन हो टिके नुआ 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 हारमोनियम बजाऊँ हारमोनियम मु बजाए माने हारमोनियम आगुरी बजाऊली बहुत तले किंतु बहुत वर्ष है हारमोनियम बजाऊ नी कीबोर्ड मझे मझे बजाए कीबोर्ड मो पाखे थाए कीबोर्ड रे एतेटा ये ना परिश्रम ना कि गोटे नुआ हारमोनियम किणिली लोक मैंने कहले ना आपण मैंने आप गीत बोलुं कीबोर्ड रे न बोलिक हारमोनियम रे कर हारमोनियम मोर नाला पुराना हारमोनियम टा बहुत दिन पुराना गोटे क्या नष्ट भी ତେଣୁ ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡୁଛି ଦି ହାତ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିକି ହାତ ଟିକେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଲେଖିଲିନି ଆଜି ବେଶୀ। ଆଚ୍ଛା ଏ ଦେଖ ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଆଗରୁ ଯେ ବିସାଇଡ୍ସ ଅର୍ବିଟାଲ ଆଙ୍ଗୁଲାର ମୋମେଣ୍ଟମ ସ୍ପିନ୍ যেহেতু করুছি নিজ অক্ষ চারিপটে ইট হ্যাজ গট এ স্পিন অ্যাঙ্গুলার মোমেন্টম অ্যান্ড হেন্স ম্যাগনেটিক ফিল্ড অ্যান্ড হেন্স ম্যাগনেটিক মোমেন্ট সেইটা কোণ না এস ইন্টু এস প্লাস ওয়ান সেটা এল ইন্টু এল প্লাস ওয়ান এটা এস ইন্টু এস প্লাস ওয়ান স্কোয়ার রুট এচ বাই ফোর পাই এচ ক্রস যদি আমি ওয়ান ইলেকট্রন স্পেসিস নবা হাফ নবা এস তো ভ্যালু হাফ এস র ভ্যালু প্লস হাফ মাইনস হাফ তেଣୁ ଖାଲି ନ୍ୟୁମେରିକାଲ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ନବା ପ୍ଲସ୍ ମାଇନସ୍ ନବାନି କିଛି ନ ନେଲା ମାନେ ପ୍ଲସ୍ ସେ ପ୍ଲସ୍ ନବା एस ର value half into half plus 1 root over so root 3 by 2 h cross এইটা হবো the angular momentum spin angular momentum of one electron one in any one electron কিন্তু যদি paired ହେଇଯିବ they will cancel each other for poly-electron species n is the number of unpaired electrons ଆମେ ଯୋଉ calculate କରିବା total spin capital S is equal to half into n total spin तक कहती बा स्पिन नंबर कहती नॉट एंगुलर मोमेंटम टोटल स्पिन कैपिटल एस होची टोटल नंबर ऑफ अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एन इज द नंबर ऑफ अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स तेबे नेट स्पिन एंगुलर मोमेंटम केते बाहरिबो ना कैपिटल एस जार एंटायर ये रे एठी 3s रे धर 3d रे हमें पढ़िबा हुम्स रूल रे 1 1 1 अलग अलग कि तीनटा अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन अछि पेयरिंग हेई नहीं तीनटा अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन अछि सो नेट स्पिन होची हाफ plus half so 3 into half net spin सेटा यूज करियो पड़ियो to find the net spin angular momentum write down this then magnetic moment बाहरिबो sorry magnetic yes एटा angular momentum spin angular momentum सेइथु बाहरिबो magnetic moment because they will produce a magnetic field any moving charge will produce a magnetic field and magnetic moment एटा स्मॉल s गोटे इलेक्ट्रॉन पाई मल्टी इलेक्ट्रॉन पाई कैपिटल S सो आमे पढ़िबा नेक्स्ट क्लास रे आमे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन पढ़िबा फॉर ऑल एलिमेंट्स not only the simple I mean what we will call normal elements मानकर नुहे s block p block केवल नुहे आमे d block रो f block रो समस्त इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन अंतर एनोमैलीज गुडा का अछि छोडा को मध्य आमे एबेठु देखि दबा कर दबा स्वयं जी तुमे मठ टिके मठाधीश टिके मठ काहींकि ओके ताले ताले स्पिन मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट म्यू एस एटा म्यू एल थिला एटा म्यू एस इज इक्वल टू 4 into s plus 1 bm ए कैपिटल एस जोड़ा स्पिन नंबर धर तीनटा अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन अच्छी 3/2 सो सही 4 into 3/2 into 3/2 plus 1 bm को कन्वर्ट हो कारण से जो कही से जो ये गुड़ाक अच्छी तार कन्स्टाट गुड़ाक से सब गुणीदे हरिदे एटा 1 bm को पलि आसो से bm यूनिट रे प्रकाश करा जाए आउरी सिंपल होची कौन n into n plus 2 root over bm where n is the number of unpaired electrons so एटा बेसी यूज करा जाए नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बाहर कले स्पिन टोटल स्पिन बाहर करिया के दरकार नहीं सही नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रु नेट स्पिन एंगुलर मोमेंटम जना पड़ियो स्पिन एंगुलर मोमेंटम मोमेंटम कहूँ स्पिन मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट कॉल्ड मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल मोमेंट मोमेंट पूर्व गोटे डाइपोल बसाए मुझे बसैनी सो स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ आमर जो गोटे एनोमैली रे आमे कहिथिले बोर रो जे बाय यूजिंग हाई रेजोल्यूशन स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर it was found that each line is split into a doublet two final lines magnetic field electric field कथा कहूनी जीमैन आउ ये इफेक्ट कथा कहूनी नॉर्मली यदि रिजोल्यूशन पावर बढ़ेबो स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर रो परवर्ती काल रे बढ़िला देखा गला प्रति लाइन दीटा लाइन आसिला डबलेट इट इज ड्यू टू द प्रेजेंस ऑफ टू स्पिन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन गला डेला से क्लॉकवाइज बुलला तापर पुनी बैक कला फास्ट सेल से जति की एनर्जी खाइबो से एंटी क्लॉकवाइज बुलथिबो जदी सी फेरियो पुनी तार टिके स्लाइटली डिफरेंट एनर्जी पाइबो सो गोटे लाइन जोटा आसुला जोटा धरी पार नथिला लो पावरफुल मैग्नेटिक आई मीन स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर सेटा हाई पावर स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर ताकू धर नेला रिजॉल्व कर नेला तो सेटा इज ड्यू टू टू डिफरेंट स्पिन्स लिखि दियो एंड वी विल फिनिश तापरे हमर सरी जीव ए चैप्टरटा सरी गला तापरे मु असाइनमेंट देइची ओडा सब लिभेगिरी पठेबी कारण यार को आंसर बुझौथिली तो सरी गला ଏଥିରେ ଏଥିରେ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ କାଳରେ ମୁଁ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଦେବି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରୋନିକ୍ କନଫିଗୁରେସନ୍ ପଢ଼ା ହେବ ସେତେବେଳେ ଦିଆଯିବ ୟାର ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଏତିକି ଏସ୍ଏ କ୍ୟୁ ଅନୁସାରେ ଦେଇଛି ଆକୁ ଲିଭେଇ ଦେବି ସରିଲା ओके ମୁଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ସେୟାରିଂ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦେଲି ଏବଂ ଏଇଠି आई टेक लिव मु पठाऊँ फाइलटा तुम किसी विशेष होम टास्क नहीं आज किंतु गुड़ाक सब खातार लिख मो आरथरक पचारि एमती चार पाँचटा खंडे देदेवी मन इच्छा क्वांटम नंबर चार्टा जाक NLMS एसटा प्लस हाफ दे पारे माइनस हाफ दे पारे मो इच्छा तार कौन से डेजिग्नेशन चेंज हेनी सेटा ऑर्बिटल डेजिग्नेशन टा चेंज हुए नहीं एस वैल्यू रु खाली स्पिन अप स्पिन डाउन एमती लिखिपर किंतु ऑर्बिटल डेजिग्नेशन तीनटा दरकार NLM दैट विल रिप्रेजेंट वन ऑर्बिटल दैट इज कॉल्ड आइजन वैल्यू साइ एंड एसटा प्लस हाई पेपर माइनस हाई एमती जो मन इच्छा देवी तुम डेजिग्नेट कर डेजिग्नेट देथि डेजिग्नेशन देथि तर मु कहबी 6px तार चारटा जाक क्वांटम नंबर लेख ऑल पॉसिबल क्वांटम नंबर्स 6px गला पर 6 then 1 then plus minus 1 कारण x and y px and py can be represented plus 1 and minus 1 plus minus 1 dita को लिखियो plus slash minus 1 plus 1 slash minus 1 एवं s रो वैल्यू प्लस हाफ हे पारे माइनस हाफ हे पारे तेनु प्लस हाफ प्लस माइनस हाफ लिखि दबो जे कोन से गोटे हे पारे सो ऑल पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशन लिखियो बाय बाय
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.